Hello guys, assalamu alaikum. I hope you are all well and having a good day. So today we are going to derive an equation which is known as the transport equation, which is a very important topic of AS Physics Unit 2. So let's derive this equation without wasting any more time. Now here we know electrons flow through a conductor, right? Electrons flow in a conductor. So now here we have taken a conductor which is a wire. This is a wire. Okay, we have taken a conductor. Let's say the conductor is wired here. So in this wire, first of all we have to figure out the volume of this wire. In order to derive transport equation, the first thing we will do is we will derive the volume. So we know we will first of all figure out the volume. So here we know this wire is in a shape of cylinder, right? So to figure out the volume of a cylinder, we know we have to figure out the cross-sectional area first. So this is the cross-sectional area, and we know this cross-sectional area into this length of the wire is what is going to be the volume. So we are going to write area into length. So this is going to be our formula for volume, which is cross-sectional area into length. Now the next thing that we are going to figure out is going to be charge carrier density. This is something new to you guys, I think. So this is charge carrier density. So what is actually charge carrier density? Actually, charge carrier density, we know density, right? What is actually density? Density is the formula of density. Whenever you hear about density, you know density is equals to mass divided by volume. But we are not talking about the density of mass right here. We are talking about the density of charge carrier. Let's say population density. You have learned population density in geography in class 6 or 7, right? So what is population density? The population in a certain area, right? The population in a certain area or in a certain country is what population density is. Just like this one here, the charge carrier density means who are the charge carriers actually? The charge carriers are the electrons, right? So the charge carrier density means electrons in a certain volume. Electrons in a certain volume. So here we will denote it as N divided by V. N is the number of electrons in a certain volume. Let's say in this wire, in this volume of wire, this wire has a volume, right? And in this wire there are 6 electrons, right? So here 6 divided by the volume of this particular wire is going to be giving us the charge carrier density. Okay, charge carriers means the electrons, and charge carrier density means the number of electrons in a certain volume. Now what we will do is we'll make this and the subject of our equation. Okay, we're going to make this and our subject. So what we will do right now is we will make it, we know n is equals to this n so n is equals to n into this v, and with the form, and we know the formula of v is a into l, right? So we will take that, we will write AL. Okay, all right. So we know this n is the number of electrons, the total number of electrons, and this n is the charge carrier density, right? So let's look after another thing right now, which is, let's say what is the charge of one electron? What is the charge of one electron? We know the charge of one electron is E. Let's say the charge of one electron is E, though it is 1.16 or 10 to the power minus 19, but for now let's assume that the charge of one electron is denoted by E. So what will be the charge of an electron? We don't know how many electrons are there in this wire, right? Though I have written 6 electrons right here, but it is way more than that, and we don't know actually how many electrons. Though the time when we will figure out the formula, at that time we may know, but at this moment we don't know. So we will denote it as charge of an electron. So let's say there are n numbers of electrons. So if there is an electron, we can say it as Ne. right? This is simple O levels, simple class 6 math, that if the charge of one electron is E, then the charge of n electrons is Ne, right? So here we can write it down as Ne. So if only n is NaL, then Ne is going to be NaLe, right? This E will come here as well. There wasn't E right here, that's why there wasn't E right here as well, but here we have added n, so we will also add E right here as well, okay? Because we know this n is equals to NaL, and if we add E right here, we will add E right there as well. So now the formula has become n is equals to NaLe. Now the next thing that we will doing is we know charge is equals to charge is equals to NaLe, right? The charge of n electrons is this. The charge of n electrons is Ne. So this is what is the charge of one electron. So that's why we have written Q is equals to NaLe, because charge is equals to Ne and Ne is equals to NaLe. So here we can write charge is equals to this NaLe, excluding this one right now, because this is what this means, right? So we have excluded that part. So we know charge is equals to NaLe. Now we know current is equals to charge divided by time taken, right? So now if we divide this charge by time, and here as well we divide this one by t, then what it becomes is, if we now look at this, the length divided by time, we know distance divided by time is velocity, right? The displacement divided by time is velocity, and here this is the length which, this is actually the length which the electrons will travel. So we can say this as the distance as well rather than length. So distance divided by time becomes V. So the formula is, and we know charge divided by time is current, so current is equals to NaVe. So this is the derivation of the transport equation. So we are done with deriving the whole transport equation. If you still have any question in terms of understanding this, then you guys can comment down below. I will make you guys understand through comment. And if you want any more videos like this, please message our Facebook page in order to join our crash courses or long courses. We have 3 courses. One is high impact crash course, the second one is question paper marathon course, and the third one is the long course of 1 year. If you want any more videos like this, then please comment down below. I will be very happy to make videos like this for you guys. So have a good day till then. Bye bye.